Glad you're here with us on the IlliniGuys Sports Spectacular, powered by IlliniGuys.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Illini_guys, ILLINI underline guys. Yeah, that's how you do it. Tell you what, one of the great joys of this season, 29-9 for the Fighting Illini, was getting a chance to know our next member of the team is coming up right now. Marcus Domask, presented each week by HX Home Solutions. Don't forget to call HX. Mention Illini Guys. Get $1,000 off your project. It's that time of year. Be sure you do that. More details on IlliniGuys.com. Marcus Domask is here. Marcus, great to see you. First off, we stand up and salute you for just an outstanding season individually as a team. Tell us about, you've had a few days now to kind of process this. What's been going through your mind the past few days?
What's really been going through my mind is I'm mad that we're not flying to Arizona. We're not in Arizona right now. But yeah, it was a really fun year. Fun to make the jump to this level. I really enjoy my teammates, the coaches, the fan base. Just overall, just a really fun year for me.
Is you kind of, I gotta ask one question about. I know the game probably has a sour memory, but have you ever, when you're going through that, and a 30-0 run like that, what's going through your head when that's happening out there? What are you thinking when that's happening?
We were just thinking like we gotta get a stop and we're gonna go on our run. It's always just, we gotta stop it now. Now we're gonna go on our run. It's never like a negative, like, oh, we screwed up, like we're done. It's always that fight mindset. So, we just gotta keep going.
Yeah, and it was a weird set of events. And at the same time, it was weird because everybody kind of went cold at once. And, did you, when you saw Klingon turning into the human block machine on the inside, were you thinking to yourself, well, we may have to win this from outside, or was it just like, well, you just got to focus on the next play?
Yeah, I thought we turned down some threes that we should have shot and then ended up driving. And then, instead of now taking an open three, you're taking a contested layup, which is just, not what we wanted to do. So we definitely made some mistakes in that part.
We heard Brad Underwood immediately in the news conference after the game say, we're just going to forget about this. Look, 29 wins, Big Ten championship, third one in 4 years. You break the seal at Illinois. Had been, again, 19 years since you got into just the second weekend, let alone the Final Four. Despite that, I mean, have you been able to kind of take a moment and even though, yeah, the emotions are still raw, will be for a little bit, but appreciate kind of what you guys did this year? Have you had a chance to do that yet?
Yeah, I've definitely had time, just kind of sit back and look at stuff. Yeah, we had a historic run, historic year. So, it's everything that I set out to do this year, as a team. We really did pretty much everything. So, it's just none but, just thankful for how this year went.
I always ask guys this, and it's always one of the hardest questions to answer. What's the moment? What's the one moment that you remember from this season that maybe stands out?
Good question.
Probably winning the Big Ten tournament, with the confetti falling and being on the stage, on the court, because I hadn't had that happen, like in high school when you win state, like the confetti doesn't fall, you don't get on the stage, probably that moment and just, that whole scene in the locker room after, there were a lot of fun locker room scenes, but just everything that went with probably winning the Big Ten.
When you think about the relationships and the you've been here a year, but yet this team was really connected and you guys pulled for each other. What was the secret of that? Because I'm sure you've played on other teams that weren't as close. What do you think made the difference that allowed your team to bond like that?
I think it was just the fact that, we all had a really similar mindset as far as just winning. We were all willing to make sacrifices to win games. And I think when you have teams that get too caught up in their own personal agendas and looking out for themselves and their futures, like that's kind of when, the heads collide. But I felt like for the most part, everyone just wanted to win, and that's why we kind of bought in and all got along.
Talking with Marcus Domask of the Fighting Illini, 29-9 season Big Ten tournament champs. And again, they got to the Elite Eight. It's funny that I know we've talked ourselves here. We've discussed with you, our producer, Tony Cordero, and all of our friends. There's something very different about this Illinois team. And I think you hit it right there in the head, is that this was a rare Illinois team that no moment seemed bigger than you guys. And even in the second half, when things were falling apart with Yukon, I never everybody say, well, Illinois didn't belong there. No, it wasn't that at all. It was just a perfect storm that happened. And I think that's a testament, again, just to the way you guys, so you said you stuck together, played for each other, supported each other throughout. And I think that showed even for the entire 40 minutes last Saturday up in Boston.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that, we were a really good team. UConn's a really good team. They probably got 5-6 NBA guys. It was a tough path that we had. And they were just better than us that night. But I felt like, every night that we stepped on the floor, like I think that was our only double-digit loss we had all year. Like
it was.
Yeah, like we were
Yeah.
competitive, never lost 2 in a row. Like I mean, we were just a really good team.
What, as an individual, where do you think you grew? I mean, I don't know. I mean, when you came from SIU, obviously had a lot of success there as an individual and team success too, but maybe not, obviously not to this level. But where did you grow over the past year since coming to Illinois?
Yeah, I think, kind of evolving my game to more like running the show almost. I felt like I started to get a good feel on how to, kind of be a point guard and how to slow things down when we needed to and speed things up when we needed to. And, there were times where, the coaches would kind of like give me a few options and just say like, run this, if you feel like you want to change it, maybe run this. And they would just kind of let me choose what I felt out there, what I saw out there, and just kind of, like they had the confidence, just kind of let the offense run through me, and I was able to make a lot of calls.
Now, you've got through this season. What's next for Marcus Domask?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
We waited all season.
I can't go anywhere without getting that question right now.
Yeah. Well, I told Brad I didn't want to ask it, but he made me.
Yeah, right.
I mean, for me right now, I took a few days off to try to, help my body get healthy. But, my mindset right now is I'm trying to become a pro and go through the draft process and see what comes out of that. That's my mindset. That's kind of where I'm headed right now.
Want to ask you, put on your analyst cap. I know you've talked about you watch as much college basketball as anybody throughout the season. You've gone up against 2 of these teams in the Final Four. Give us your overview of what we're going to see Saturday in Phoenix with these 2 games.
Yeah, I expect to see a Yukon Purdue championship game. I think that happens. I think NC State. I think Burns is really good. I think he'll struggle with Edie. And just, 7-4 is a different beast to try to post up and score against. So I think Purdue takes care of that. I think UConn takes care of Alabama. And then in the championship game, I think it'll be a good game. If I had to choose who I think would win, I think UConn's gonna win. I think they're deeper and both good teams. It'll be the matchup of Klingon and Edie will be super fun to watch. Yeah, I don't know who's going to win that matchup. I don't see UConn throwing it in the post a lot, but they run a lot of other sets to kind of get the defense around. So, like, they don't have to rely on throwing it to Klingon, where Purdue relies more on throwing it to Edie. So it'll be interesting to see if Klingon can kind of neutralize him. But, yeah, I think UConn gets the win.
Well, we know that the season is over, but our relationship with you is not. So we hope you'll continue to join us when you have time. Keep us updated not only on what you're doing, but we may from time to time ask you your thoughts on basketball. It's we've had so much fun talking to you here on the show.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
All right. So hopefully he'll join us again. All right. Hey, Marcus, again, congratulations on a great season, and we are waited with bated breath to see what is next for you personally.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Marcus Domask, once again, Fighting Illini guard, joining us here on the IlliniGuys Sports Spectacular every week, presented by HX Home Solutions. We've got Brian Barnhart, voice of the Illini, up next, right here on the Sports Spectacular.